Hello. This week's topic is positive self talk. Today's topic is a true story that I read in a book called Choose Yourself by James Altucher. The story is about a man named Kamal Ravikant, and he was very depressed. He had reached rock bottom in his life, and he felt like he was going to die. Then he had an epiphany. To quote Kamal Ravikant, he said, "When someone is in love, they almost magically look better. I needed to be in love with myself to feel better. So much of what happened had weighed on me until I collapsed. Now I needed to love myself." So Kamal decided to tell himself, "I love myself. I love myself. I love myself." He started to repeat this constantly, and he noticed that he started to heal. He even wrote about this story in a book called Love Yourself as If Your Life Depends on It. To quote from the book, this was his experience. "And I got better. My body started healing faster. My state of mind grew lighter. But the thing I never expected or imagined, life got better, but not just better. Things that happened were fantastically out of my reach. This I couldn't have dreamed of. I found myself using the word magic to describe what was happening. And through it all, I kept repeating to myself, I love myself. I love myself. I love myself." I gained two very valuable insights from this story. It really inspired me. The first insight is that self love is the key to healing. The healing doesn't come from the outside, it comes from the inside, truly, from our own inner self. The second valuable insight I gained is how much our mindset matters. So he was experiencing some challenges, and as he said, he collapsed. But when he changed his mindset, everything started to change in his life for the better. So I read this story in 2017 and adopted it as my own practice. I did it slightly differently. So instead of saying, I love myself, I started saying, I love you, Rosalinda. And I hugged myself. So for about 2 or 3 minutes a day, I would say, I love you, Rosalinda. I love you, Rosalinda. I love you, Rosalinda. And I continued this daily practice when I would have extremely challenging moments in my life, especially at work. There were times that I doubted that I had the expertise to get through some very rough projects, but somehow I managed to get through it. And I remembered this inspiring story and would continue with, I love you, Rosalinda. I love you, Rosalinda. So I want to encourage you to have a similar practice. See if this works for you. When you find yourself in a rough patch, remind yourself how much you love yourself. And you don't necessarily have to give yourself a hug like I was doing, but you could look in the mirror and say that you love yourself. But whichever way you choose to do it, the idea is to connect with that deeper part of yourself. Remind yourself how much you love yourself. Just because you're going through depression doesn't mean that you don't love yourself. Of course you do. But sometimes that depression, anxiety, challenges, life, all of that gets in the way, and we forget how much we do love ourselves. So I want to encourage you to do this practice and invite others to do the same. If you would like to find this story, the book again is called Choose Yourself by James Altucher. The story is on pages 52 to 54. James Altucher provides this PDF free online, but I've also linked it in the description section. And if you'd like to read the book by Kamal, the book is called Love Yourself Like Your Life Depends on It. As a reminder, self care requires a positive mindset. I invite you to read the 3 affirmations below from last week and pause as long as necessary to let them sink in. Repetition is important to allow them to become a part of our consciousness. I am worthy of receiving the best self-care. My self-care is a high priority to me. I give myself a high level of self-care. I hope that this week's tip on positive self-talk has been helpful. And as always, I want to encourage you to try this and see if it works for you. And as a reminder, I will have a new tip every Tuesday for the rest of 2025. Thank you for tuning in this week. And as always, I send you love, light, and blessings.
Hi, my name is Rosalinda Martinez. I'm a retreat leader at Empowerment Light. If you'd like to get connected with more tools and resources to help you on your journey, please see my website in the description section. As always, like and subscribe if you like this video. Look forward to a new video every Tuesday.